I want y'all to listen to this silliness that just took place. Just watch the interview that Ryan Garcia was featured on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, right? And this is why the sport of boxing is in the state that it's in, right? We have too many casuals that delve into the sport of boxing, but the sport of boxing, it allows that, right? So I was listening to this interview. Shouts out to the brother that sent me the interview. I don't like to shout out people's names unless they actually want their name shouted out. With that said, Ryan Garcia, newly crowned WBC welterweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, 25 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 20 wins by way of knockout. Ryan Garcia was on Stephen A. Smith's First Take show. Stephen A. Smith is the one that brings these fighters on these shows. He invites them on these shows. So Ryan Garcia and his team, I guess, got him on the show. Obviously, Stephen A. Smith, at once upon a time, Stephen A. Smith was somebody who was invested in the sport of boxing, I'll say that. But Stephen A. Smith is a super casual to the sport of boxing as it stands currently right now. And as you're going to see in this video, he's talking to Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia is talking his talk, as usual, typical Ryan Garcia talk. He's asked Ryan Garcia about 2 things. Now, it's always embedded in my brain when Stephen A. Smith had the Charlo brothers on when they was fighting in Brooklyn, and he absolutely did not know what division he was fighting in. And it's embarrassing to the sport of boxing. That's what it is. It's an embarrassment to the sport of boxing, right? Because you fighters, and y'all worrying about Dana White and Turki Al-Rashid taking over the Muhammad Ali Act. The sport of boxing is in a bad way, right? Mainstream sporting media has no respect and no investment in the sport of boxing. They don't care about the sport of boxing, right? And they know nothing about the sport of boxing. And Stephen A. Smith, in this interview with Ryan Garcia, once again reiterates that. Ryan Garcia, you should be embarrassed for yourself and for your sport that you're talking to this dude and he knows nothing about it. And that therefore, you should want to elevate the sport of boxing like Ryan Garcia said, right? Stephen A. Smith is going to say, Jerron Bruce Ennis, he says, you talking about all these fights with Conor Ben and all these guys at 147, but we ain't everybody's ignoring the real boogeyman at 147, Jerron Bruce Ennis. Jerron Bruce Ennis, what about him? Jerron Bruce Ennis don't fight at 147, Stephen A. Smith. He fights at 154. June 27th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, he's going to fight for the unified titles against Puerto Rican star unified world champion Xander Zayas, okay? And then, to make it worse, to make matters worse, Stephen A. Smith goes on a rant when Ryan Garcia says the fight to be made is me versus Devin Haney. Now, Ryan Garcia also is going to mention that his nutritionist and his team, strength and condition, say he can make 140. He wants the Shakur Stevenson fight. But then Ryan Garcia says the big fight that everybody wants to see is me versus Devin Haney, the rematch between me and Devin Haney. Stephen A. Smith goes on to say, nobody wants to see that because nobody believes that Devin Haney can beat you, right? I respect his father. I respect Devin Haney, but he's a 135-pounder, 140-pounder, and nobody thinks he can beat you after what we already witnessed. Nobody wants to see that. What are you talking about? Devin Haney's a 135-pounder. You don't know nothing about the sport of boxing. This is disgusting, and Ryan Garcia should be embarrassed. They didn't give him the opportunity to correct himself. I don't know how the layout goes, but he wasn't able to correct himself. But let's listen right here to this whole conversation, shall we?
Well, my intent, look at my strength and conditioning coach, he said that he believes that I can make 140 comfortably. I trust, the people, my team around me. If their opportunity presents itself, I would love to fight Shakur Stevenson. I just want boxing to be at the top. I want to make these fights happen, and I know I could beat these guys. Conor Ben, of course, 147, I would love to defend my title, and if that happens, let's do that too.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be remiss. Listen, you're going to mention Conor Ben or whatever. I'm getting sick and tired of people talking about themselves at the welterweight division without mentioning the name Boots Ennis, because this brother is special as well, and we don't bring up that name nearly as much. When I think about Ryan Garcia, I think about a cat that I believe is box office. When he's on his game, he's must watch, no question about it. Is there a specific individual that you believe out there immediately after, assuming you fight Conor Ben and that happens and you win, Is there a mega fight out there that you think everybody wants to see that stands above the crowd?
There's only one. It's Devin Haney. We already know the history. We already know what happened. I don't want to get into that. But the world wants to see that again. I have something to prove. He has something to prove. That's the only fight that would make sense. Will it happen? We don't know.
I don't want to upset Devin Haney because I respect him. I respect the hell out of him and his camp, his pops, and everything. I just don't agree with that, Ryan, because I don't think anybody thinks he can beat you. I mean, I just don't. I just don't. I mean, to me, he's 135, 140, but I don't. He's a damn good boxer, but I don't think he can beat you.
Right. Like I stated, the sport of boxing is not respected in the quote-unquote mainstream sporting world. It's just not revered. This is nasty work, and it's embarrassing, period. But let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, I'm gone. Peace.